December the 7th, 1941, 7:35 a.m. Equivalent to December 8, 4 a.m. Australian time. Harbour garrison at a listening device reported an armada of planes approaching. He was told such a thing could not happen. Japan had struck, stealthily, and even as her emissaries talked peace in Washington. Swiftly the Nipponese blows fell upon Midway, Wake, the Philippines, Hong Kong, Singapore. From bases in occupied China and Indochina, the Japanese horde pours southward. Landings are made on the Philippines. Guam, Wake, Hong Kong fall. They begin an irresistible sweep down the Malayan Peninsula. Tommies, Scots, Indians, Aussies of the fated 8th Division bar their path. Air cover becomes practically nil. Their few aircraft are shot from the skies. Too little, too late. And so Singapore burns. The impregnable fortress is crumbling, and with it the safety of the Netherlands, East Indies, Australia and New Zealand. Singapore falls. The obstruction gone, the Nipponese tide sweeps on with breathtaking speed. A huge Pacific area is Japanese territory by right of conquest. War laps the shores of Australia. Anxious days that seem lighter in retrospect, but they were anxious days. The people responded as they might have been expected to respond. Australia climbed behind her defenses, undermanned and insecure as they were, and waited. Bombs rain on Darwin. A devastating raid shatters the town, batters shipping in the harbor. Many hundreds died in that one onslaught. It's a heavy blow, and Darwin's defenders shut their teeth and await the anticipated Japanese landing. It does not come. It has not yet, nor will it. On March 17th, General Douglas MacArthur arrives in Australia. With MacArthur comes still more priceless American aid. Aid which a beleaguered Britain at that time could not spare. Australia thrills. The AIF is home from Libya, Greece, Palestine, to help throw the invader back. Home but momentarily. With cruelly short leave, they must go north and into battle again. Every hour counts. This time their own women and children are at stake. The position is tense, and the Prime Minister minces no words.
Gentlemen, the truth is that if we do not strip ourselves to save our country, the enemy will do it for us with ruthless efficiency, imposing upon us a maximum of misery.
Industry gears itself to the war machine. Industrialists perform near miracles, turning out tanks, guns, aircraft. After a start from behind scratch, labor throws in its weight. Long, grueling overtime hours, loss of hard-won privileges, all taken by the vast majority with a smile. The Battle of the Coral Sea, fought out by our gallant American allies, prevents an invasion of Australia. The Japs lose an aircraft carrier, 3 heavy cruisers, many other craft. It, with Midway, is one of the vital actions of the Pacific War. The night of May the 31st, Japanese midget submarines enter Sydney Harbour. There are good targets, but they miss them. A ferry naval depot ship is torpedoed. 19 men lose their lives. 4 submarines are believed sunk, and the remains of 2 of them are recovered. Sydney and Newcastle shelled by submarines at night. Damage is slight, a few houses hit, and casualties are nil. But it brought the war close home. Discovered, the men of Timor, gallant members of a lost battalion. Cut off from the mainland, they were given up as dead. But they were fighting, harrying the Japs at every opportunity. They built a radio transmitter from scraps, contacted Australia, and finally reached safety. Bombers over Moresby. Jap squadrons at 20,000 feet coming over almost daily to strike at shipping. They had their victories, but they come rarely today. Command of the skies has been wrested from them. Repelled at Milne Bay, the Nips strike towards Mosby from Buna and Gona, where they landed unopposed. They drove over the Owen Stanleys and got to within 30 miles of Mosby. They were stopped at Irabayawa by the 6th Division, driven slowly, relentlessly back. The grim, terrible Kokoda Trail will always live in Australian history. The Australians pushed the Japs back to Buna and Gona, where the enemy sank himself into deep dugouts in which he was prepared to die. American troops pushing up from the south aided in the final assault, and Buna and Gona were won. A division of picked Japanese was wiped out, but at heavy cost to ourselves. March 1943, the Battle of the Bismarck Sea, when the Japs tried to reinforce Lae and Salamur. Reconnaissance planes spotted the convoy. The rest is history. 22 Jap ships, including 10 warships, went to the bottom. 15,000 troops died. It was entirely accomplished by air power, the American 5th Air Force and the RAAF. Danger at Wau. A large Jap force strikes at it suddenly. Wau is thinly held and the aerodrome is almost within enemy grasp. Civilian transport planes rushed the 17th Brigade to Wau. They slip out of the planes straight into action. The Japs under fire are on the fringe of the aerodrome, invaluable to both sides. They're beaten, thrust back and still further back, until they go to ground in the wild mountainous country dominating their Salamur base. For 7 months, the men of the 17th Brigade fought them with a strange guerrilla-type warfare in the eerie jungle fastnesses. Japs died in hundreds, and Australians died too. The price of victory is high for the men who win them. From the skies, American paratroops shower down on Nadzab, west of Lae. It's a spectacular strategic move, coinciding with the landing of the 9th Division at Red Beach, northeast of Lae. The two Jap bases, Lae and Salamur, are in a vice-like grip. Quickly they fall, and the cost to the Allies is not high. The Japs retire up the Markham Valley and into the Rimu. The AIF strikes again and takes Finschhaven and Saddleburg, the full-screen story of which you will soon see. We've turned from the defensive to the offensive, but upon the foolish optimists who, from a comfortable chair, proclaim it's nearly all over, the map will have a sobering effect. That is what we won back after 2 years, and at bitter cost. There is nothing more certain than final victory, but it's stupid complacency to expect it soon.
The last 12 months have seen many notable victories on all fronts. In New Guinea, we have driven the Jap 3 miles north from where we started to attack him at Milne Bay. But don't forget that we still have 3,000 miles to go to Tokyo, and that doesn't presage any immediate or early final victory.
In 2 years since that fateful day, the world has been shaken as never before. A great task still faces the people of the Allied nations, and even the collapse of Nazi Germany will not mean peace in the Pacific. The Japanese, in the face of impending disaster, will fight desperately and to the death, for they have everything to lose. We must courageously face many more weary months of bitter sacrifice before the day of final victory dawns. On the datepad of December 8, 1941, appears by strangest incidents words of remarkable significance. Men talk as if victory was something fortunate. Work is victory. Wherever work is done, victory is obtained. Work is victory.